I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Lifelong UK Test Part 241, Architecture Part 2, that is on page 84, while doing morning stretching, and if you participate in morning stretching, that is at your own risk. You already have that in the United Kingdom are many buildings from different time periods which are still standing today. And we, for example, are these also cathedrals and churches like Durham, Lincoln, Canterbury and Salisbury. And the White Tower of the Tower of London is an example of a Norman building which is still there today. Gradually, as the countryside became more peaceful and landowners became richer, the houses of the wealthy became more elaborate, and great country houses such as Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire were built. British styles of architecture began to develop. So I think in the countryside it became more peaceful. I don't think they said anything why or what or how. I don't think they're referring to the Industrial Revolution, because it happened, as far as I know, earlier already. And the landowners became richer, maybe both together. And the houses of the wealthy became more elaborate, and great country houses it is. So not only in the towns are great cathedrals and churches built and castles, but also in the countryside, country houses. So basically villas, or a normal house, but much greater. Sometimes just a very elaborate can be used in that way. Sometimes just bigger houses, basically, not just basically room for 5-6 people, but technically for 20-30 people, and sometimes even to the extent that it reaches a little bit in the direction of a small palace or something like that. But we're meaning no country houses, so. And no, we don't have a picture, so I don't know Hardwick Hall. Hardwick Hall is an example here named. If Hardwick Hall would be now a villa or great house, or already in the direction with maybe some garden or so, into the direction of a small castle, or a small palace castle. So Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire, that is an example. Hardwick Hall, Derbyshire. And British styles of architecture began to develop. So a style which is distinct of a style in other areas of Europe or the world used to make houses. In the 17th century, Inigo Jones took inspiration from classical architecture to design the Queen's House at Greenwich and the Banqueting House in Whitehall in London. So in the 17th century, so 1650 something, there was a person, his name was Inigo Jones, and he looked at classical architecture. No, I don't have examples. And after that he thought something new, and then he designed Queen's House at Greenwich. So Greenwich, that was somewhere near London. We had it somewhere. I don't know where it was. So Greenwich. And there he built Queen's House. And also built he then Banqueting House in Whitehall in London. So these are then not houses basically to live, but they are more elaborate, more greater. So they are like little palaces. It's actually, they're having architects who looking, how can we build that, and looking at classical architecture and thinking, how can we build a grand place. And for example, Hardwick Hall is one, but probably also something like Queen's House at Greenwich or Banqueting House in Whitehall in London. And in Whitehall in London there's also a cenotaph. Later in the century, so 1680, there was Sir Christopher Wren. He rebuilt the cathedral, the St. Paul's Cathedral in London after the Great Fire of London 1666. Later in the century, Sir Christopher Wren helped develop the British version of the ornate styles popular in Europe in buildings such as the new St. Paul's Cathedral. So, around 1670, let's say that, Sir Christopher Wren helped develop a British version of the ornate styles popular in Europe. Ornate styles, I don't know what it is, but it has the word ornament in it. And ornaments, I don't know if I said it in that, let's see somewhere. That is, so it's about making it beautiful. with, I think I heard that in the St. Paul's cathedrals are many pillars and so on. In Europe, buildings such as the new St. Paul's Cathedral. So in the St. Paul's Cathedral, where Sir Christopher Wren developed a British version of the ornate style. No, we don't have a picture of St. Paul's Cathedral so far. Maybe we will get. So it has a lot of pillars. It is in white marble as far as I know. And it's about beautiful ornaments, basically. So it's not just a wall, but the wall should look beautiful. So there are ornaments in it. And Sir Christopher Wren helped to develop a British version of this style. Now we're going to do morning stretching. If you participate in the morning stretching, that's the tip on this. I'm having the legs standing wide apart and breathing in and coming down. Up and breathing again out. And breathe again in. And out. And again in. And out. Again in. And out. And another round, breathe in. And out. Again in. And out. Now breathe in and close the legs. And out. And we're always breathing in through the nose and the chest and out through the mouth. So breathe in and lift the arms up. And out to the side. And breathe in and up the rib cage. And again out. And again in. Out back into the middle. And breathe again in. And out over to the other side. Breathe again in and out rib cage. And again out. And again in. And out back into the middle. And the arms down. And the next exercise, the feet are standing like that. We're breathing in. And out, one hand slides down the leg and the other shoulder stays down. And breathe again in. And out, we're taking one arm over. Breathe again in and out rib cage. And out, back into the middle. Breathe again in. And out, one hand slides down the leg and the other shoulder stays down. And breathe again in. And out, we're taking an arm over. Breathe again in and out rib cage. And out back into the middle. And one more exercise like this. Having your feet standing together, we're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out and we're bringing one hand down. And we're breathing in and reaching to both hands. And again out. Again in. And out, and one hand comes down. Breathe again in and reach. And again out. And again in. And out, one hand comes down. Breathe in and reach. And again out. And the last time, breathe in. Out, one hand down. Keep breathing in and reaching. And out. In the 18th century, simpler designs became popular. The Scottish architect Robert Adam influenced the development of architecture in the UK, Europe and America. He designed the inside decoration as well as the building itself in great houses such as Dumfries House in Scotland. His ideas influenced architects in cities such as Bath, where the Royal Crescent was built. Should we learn all these sounds? It's in a way an opportunity to have them all here with explanation together, not just the list, but all here. So in the 18th century, 1750, where a bit simpler designs became popular. No longer the great ornamental style, but a little more simpler. I think more wood was used and so on, but I don't know it all that exactly. But they don't write anything, so. In the 18th century, simpler designs became popular. The Scottish architect Robert Adam influenced the development of architecture in UK, Europe and America. So there was 1750, a person, his name was Robert Adam, and he developed an architectural style which influenced the architecture in the United Kingdom, Europe and in Canada and the United States of America. He designed the inside decoration as well as the building itself in great houses such as Dumfries House in Scotland. So he did not only make the architecture on the outside and where the house stands, but also the inside, the interior he decorated. And look that it also looks great. And that did he, for example, at the house Dumfries House, which is in Scotland. Robert Adams was Scottish. So Dumfries House in Scotland. His ideas influenced architects in cities such as Bath, where the Royal Crescent was built. So what he was building there in Scotland, for example, the Dumfries House, did influence some other people who were building in Bath, more in the south of England, and there was the Royal Crescent built, and that was influenced by what Robert Adams was doing in Scotland. And we will not do anything more. We will now end the morning session and if you're here for architecture part 3, then you can come to the next part. Then we'll extend the white part and we're breathing in and out and we're hanging down. And we're only helping to come deeper down by breathing in through the nose into the chest. Sending it out through the mouth. And again in. And out. Again in. And out. Again in. And out over the neck. Breathe again in. And out. And again in. And out over the gill leg. Breathe again in. And out. Again in. And out back into the middle. Now, nose with you. And breathe just again in and out. Breathe in. And out. And again in. And out. And again in. And the last round out. Again in. And out, we're coming slowly with the round back up and making the top and backwards, shoulder round. And the closing exercise. We're breathing in. And out. Again in. And out. Again in. And out. Again in. And out. Now breathe in and close the legs. And out. And we're done with the morning stretching. I thank you very much. And until next time.